Are you struggling to find your style, or maybe you don't even know where to begin? That is something that every single tattoo artist goes through, and I'm here to clear up some things for you. So by the end of this video, you will have a clear idea on how to approach finding your style. When it comes to finding our style, especially when we're just starting out, this is something that is often overthought, or oftentimes we are misled in terms of what finding our style actually means. If you're just starting out, or if you're questioning your style, this video is going to be for you. Should you have any questions at all, I encourage you to drop a comment below. I'll do my best to assist in the best possible direction. For me, when I first started, finding my style consisted of mostly being inspired by other artists and trying to mimic their styles, and that was essentially the basis of my approach. And this video is to clarify and kind of clear up some of that logic that could potentially mislead us away from where we're actually trying to go. When I started, when it came to finding my style, it was often comparison basis, and I didn't know this at the time, but until I started growing and taking a look at a bird's eye view at what I was doing, I started seeing things more clearly. So when I started, I would often compare myself to other artists, which would lead to doubt, a whole bunch of negative feelings that I really didn't need to go through because I was chasing finding my style. Fast forward some time later, my logic is now this: my style is directly based around my fundamentals, what I as an artist am comfortable with. So what that means is, let's say my favorite artist did realism, but I don't practice realism, then that means I obviously can't step into that field because my natural skills with my current skill sets don't reflect that of realism. For example, me, my actual skill sets in tattooing would be fine lines, lining, dot work, shading, stipple shading. Realism or color isn't something that I necessarily practice, or would say that I specialize in that as much as I would say lines, dot work, mandalas. You get the idea. So I started shifting my mindset to accommodate for my skill sets, for what I can actually do, and I started working off of that. So for example, let me explain and touch base on what I am saying here a little bit more. You can see that I have this design right here that has some basic lines. However, the stencil versus final completion, the actual product, is going to be two completely different things. I'm going to incorporate these lines. You can see that these lines have different line weight, which directly reflects my skill sets and abilities as a tattoo artist. This design directly aligns with what I am capable of doing. So I have multiple different line weights. I'm also going to incorporate dot work and shading in certain areas to give a little bit more depth, dimension, and interest. You can see that I'm not going for a realistic sort of design. I'm staying within my capabilities, where I am at, and I'm working off that to develop those. You can see under there's a design that I did on the hand right here that reflects my style, so you can kind of get an idea of what I am working with. Now this is where we can go south real quick. Let's say if we don't get over the hurdle, let's say if we're adamant that we have to learn realism but never practice it, well, that's where we're going to have to adjust and accommodate our wants and needs and expectations from tattooing to accommodate our current skill sets and what we can actually do. Let's get into some real world demonstrations here. So for example, I have a style right here that directly relates, or it goes with, what I do. I also have an assortment of various different needles, and this is how I would go about applying this design. You can see that I have needles from I have a round shader. That's going to be 11 round shader. I have an 11 round liner, so this is V-Select, this is Quill. I have a Mass Pro standard 7 round shader right here, and they keep going down. CNC Poly 7 round liner, long taper. This is going to be a Stigma standard 5 round liner, and then a 3 round liner for dot work and fine areas. If I wanted this thicker line right here, I can use, for example, an Ink Claw 111 round shader and kind of double up. I can also do that exact same thing with an 11 round shader right here. I can use the 111 or 11. This is going to be subjective, and this is going to also go back to what I am capable of. Can I use 111 needles cleanly? Can I apply clean lines with this? If we can't, then it's best that we stick with something that is within our range. So if you've listened to me talk right now, then you're catching on that you have to be in tune with what you are actually capable of. We have to align with that first. This is basically picking the basis of our start, and then we're going to build off of that and gradually progress to realism if that's where we want to be. But it can't be something that we go to straight off the rip, especially if that's not something that we are acquainted with. Let's get into some real world applications here. So where I would start at in a real world setting is these finer areas right here. There's no reason why I can't go 3, 5, 7 round liner, 7 round shader, 11 round shader, and then this larger area. I have multiple line weights. I think that'd be a cool approach. Even if these two were 5 round liners, that's perfectly okay, but you get the idea. So now I'm making decisions directly based around my abilities, and this is how we develop our style. This is how we fall into what we want to do, and this is how we basically discover our style, our look, our aesthetic. This is how we essentially define a name for ourselves over a period of time. What I'm going to be using for this video is the MusoToku Mercury M1 tattoo machine. This is my favorite tattoo machine so far. I'm going to be running at 5 volts. This is a 4.2 millimeter stroke. I'm going to start with the CNC Police 3 round liner. This is a real skin, fake skin hand, along with a real skin piece of fake skin. I will leave my affiliate links and Amazon affiliate links to the gear that I'm using in this video down below in the description, so that way you can check it out on your end. Me as the artist, how I'm going to go about this is I'm going to stick with what I feel comfortable. Every choice I make is directly going to be determined around my abilities and not by what inspires me or where I want to be. It's going to be directly based around where I currently am. I'm going to put some ointment here so I can moisturize the area that I'm going to be tattooing. I'm going to start with the 3-round liner running at 5 volts. I don't need much more voltage than that. I'm going to make sure I have a good stretch on the skin. And then from here, I'm just going to slowly deposit these lines as cleanly as I can. I'm also going to come back later with this same needle to deposit all of the dot work. There we go. So that right there can be it for this 3-round liner. Nice, clean, solid, consistent, and saturated. We're going to go ahead and come back to this and touch base on that here in a moment, but we're going to go ahead and complete the rest of the lines. The next step is I'm going to go with a Stigma 5-round liner and kind of gradually build my way up to the largest line weight. So this is going to be a Stigma 5-round liner. I'm going to keep the same voltage. I'm also using dynamic black tattooing ink, phantom tattoo gloves, as well as simple petroleum jelly because I'm tattooing on fake skin here. I'm going to do the same thing. You can see that still working with my style here. And I'm an adamant believer that if we're trying to find our style, we'll find it by fine-tuning what we need to fine-tune, such as lining, shading, and all of our basics. And then you'll kind of gradually see, once you start developing throughout your years, of what you actually like doing and what you don't. Let's say if you started liking realism at first, you may end up not liking it and like color. Who knows, you know? So there we go. That's going to be the 5-round liner. And then we're going to do the same thing. We're going to switch the needle and gradually keep working our way up using different line weights. Next, I'm going to do the CNC Police 7-round liner, and we'll go from there. If there's not much of a difference, I'll go with the 7-round shader, the Master Pro. Same thing, nothing has changed. We're still running at 5 volts. If I change, I will let you know along the way. If I just fail to mention it, it's probably because I didn't change it. So the same approach here. I'm going to go to this side. Like so. And then I'm going to repeat, probably move up to maybe the 11-round liner. I think that's a good way to go, or maybe even the 7-round shader. I don't really think like either or is wrong, but you get the idea. Figuring out how I want to climb up this line weight chain. I think it'd be good to jump up to the 11-round liner right here. So that's what's going to be next. We're going to run at the exact same voltage, but you can kind of see how I'm combining simple variables such as lining, which is a basic fundamental that we're all going to learn. I'm combining multiple line weights so far, which is going to give my tattoo interest and impact when I am done. And it's these little variables that add up that really define our own style over time. Still running at 5 volts. Don't really feel like I need to change it. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and dab away, and then I'm going to repeat that with the other side, and then we'll move on to these last 2 line weights. You get the idea, and this is the process. So this is how I would define over time my style. This is how I would get in tune with my style, as opposed to trying to mimic my favorite tattoo artist style, or anyone else for that matter. I really feel like finding our style comes down to a balance of figuring out what we like, figuring out what we're good at, and trying to get really good at combining them both in a manner that people would accept. Next up on the list would be this 11-round shader. I feel like this is going to be a really good practical way to go about it. I'm going to go with this heavy line weight, and then we'll figure out what we're going to do with that heavier one at the end. Now for this one, I'm going to go up to about maybe 5.5 volts, 6 volts. Let's start at 6. I think 6 volts is comfortable for this round shader. I went up in voltage because it is heavier of a line weight. So I want to make sure that I'm making enough rounds to provide me with clean, solid, consistent, saturated lines. So you can see that every needle that I declare here that I'm using matches the line weights in the stencil pretty well. And that's what we want. We want to match up the line weights and the stencil as accurately as we can, because that is what the client agrees to. It wouldn't make sense to have these sort of line weights here and then give the client varying line weights that had nothing to do with this. That's definitely a bad road to go down. So we got that one taken care of, and I'm going to do the same thing over here. And all of this kind of ties back into our finding our own style. This is how we would go about doing so. You really want to practice and fine tune the basics, and then start learning your advanced fundamentals. Your advanced techniques, and then from there you start kind of weighing out what you like doing and what you don't. There we go. So from here, I have to decide how I want to approach the heaviest line weight. Do I want to use a 111 round shader, or do I want to use this or a mag? You get the idea. For this heavier line weight, I feel like going with an Ink Claw 111 round shader isn't a bad way to go. So that way I can kind of save time on the video and work on my abilities using 111 needles. So for 111 needles, I'm going to stick to 6.5 volts. Actually, let's move it up to 7. 7 feels comfortable. You can kind of see the more needles I'm using, the more volts I'm going to pull from this, even running at even running a 4.2 stroke. So for this heavier line weight, I'm going to do this the exact same way that I would, and this is all coming back to finding my style. I'm going to try to apply this as cleanly as I can, and let's say we try this and we fail. That's okay. If we like the process and we feel like it's something that we can accomplish, then it's something that we can work towards and work on. And it's those little choices over time that begin to really define what our tattoos are going to look like. And it's these little choices that really make up our style at the end of the day. Like my choices here to use multiple line weights, my choices to use 111 needles. There we go. So you can kind of see that's where, actually not kind of, you can see that's definitely getting the job done there. I can kind of do the same thing over here. Give it 2 clean passes, and that should be enough to saturate this heavy line weight. It's about equivalent to 2 passes, as you see here. Let me go back for some more ink. With a needle like this, I got to make sure I have adequate ink flow. And the reason why I'm showing you this real time is so that way you can see that there's really no way around development but through it. You got to really practice and put some ink into some fake skin to see where you stand with it all. You can kind of see that even going off here a little bit, but that's fully okay. I'm going to go ahead and kind of just accommodate and fix that as I go. I'm not going for perfection. I'm staying within my abilities and within my range. There we go. You can see, looking great. And I'm going to go ahead and repeat that with the other side. Before we move on to the last little details here, if there's any areas that I feel like aren't really patchy, then I'll just simply go back over those. But I feel like that came out great for 2 passes. That's nice, clean, solid, saturated, and consistent. I'm going to do the same thing over here. And I'm making sure that I'm giving my needle enough time to make the rounds that it needs to make to deposit the ink cleanly. I'm not pushing hard at all. I'm actually letting the needle do all the work for me. Like so, to accomplish these results. There's no need to drive, even 111 needles, there's no need to drive that into the skin. I let it meet the skin. Once I hear or feel that bog and I feel that tension, I know I'm in the dermis. I'm good to proceed front. Like so. There we go. And I'm going to complete this right here using the same technique, but down this way. There we go. Same thing over here. Kind of have to just feel that out and trust your process there. But you can see that that's great right here. I can always fine tune this with a smaller needle to get these edges really nice and sharp if I can't do it with this one here. Just shape it up a little bit though with this round shader. But you can see, so now we have all of this taken care of, from here I can make all my final polishes as a tattoo artist, figure out what I don't like, figure out what I do like. If I have any patchiness in here, I can go back over. So for example, you can see right here I have a little bit of variation between these lines. So what I can do is kind of just go back over and either lightly do small circular patches like this. Keep in mind, we've already worked the skin, so we don't need to overwork it, meaning it doesn't need much more ink to look saturated. So just a quick little like this, especially if we do it correctly and lightly, it's going to be harmless and more than enough to get this thing solid and saturated. What I'm saying here is don't be afraid to go back over. You don't have a limit of how many times you can go over skin. That's going to be directly determined by your technical application. I know this video is probably running on for a long time now. However, my point of this video is that getting into your own style is directly evolving around your own action. You have to figure out why you're doing certain things, figure out what you like from the fundamentals, from the basics. Do you like lining? Do you like shading? Do you like color? What are you naturally good at? All of these are variables to consider when finding your own style. Finding our own style really is about going through all of the work, going through all of the trial and error, and figuring out what you like and what you don't. There's really no way around it but through it. You'll hear me talk about this a lot within my fundamental tattoo handbook, but there's no way around progress but through it. So for me as the artist, this is how I went about finding out what styles I really like, which would be mandalas, fine line. You get the idea. That's my sort of, I guess that's my cup of tea there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish this tattoo just adding some dot work and some small stipple shades in certain areas to kind of give this depth and dimension, and that's pretty much it. You get the idea. So from here you can pretty much get the picture. The idea of finding your own style comes down to finding out what you actually like to tattoo. And I don't mean like in terms of imagery, I mean in terms of technicality. What are your favorite techniques? Do you enjoy lining more than you do shading? Do you enjoy shading more than you do lining? That's going to be your ticket. Those are your strong suits, what you naturally like. Also consider what you're naturally good at and be honest with yourself. If you're not good at certain things, that's perfectly okay. I'm not good at realism and I accept that and I'm perfectly okay with that. So therefore I kind of focus on what abilities I am good at, which is going to be lining, dot work, stipple shading. These are fundamentals that I enjoy, that I actually enjoy applying, and these are fundamentals that I actually am good at and yield the results. So that is the logic behind finding style. It's not really about mimicking our favorite artists, it's more about finding out what we are actually good at. Then you can see that I'm just going to add some stipple shades here. Same thing over here. And I feel like you get the idea. I feel like this video can kind of end now, because I feel like I've gotten all my points across here. If there's anything to take from this video is that finding your own style is not so much about being inspired, but more so about what you are actually good at and what you actually enjoy applying. That's really the basis and the bare bone thought process I feel that we should focus on to bring fulfillment, enjoyment, and continuous progression throughout our tattooing journey. This is a final recap. If there's anything to take from this video, it's this. As you saw, I went through the entire process of applying this tattoo. I'm now in a place where I can kind of get a bird's eye view on what I like, what I don't like, what I liked about applying, and I have more information in general to proceed front with. There's no way around the progress but through it, and you hear me talk about this a lot within my fundamental tattoo handbook. We have to go through the motions and figure out what it is that we like and what it is that we don't to really dial in to our own sound over a period of time. If there's anything to take from this video, it's that go through all the basics, learn all the fundamentals, learn all of the advanced motions as well, and then find out what you really like instead of being inspired by what you think you like. These are the final results right here. I feel like it came out great. That'll be it for this one. That's all I have for you today. If you have any questions at all, if you're struggling to find your way, please feel free to drop a comment down below. I'll do my best to provide some clarity and assist you in the best possible direction. If you found this video helpful, consider subscribing to my YouTube channel and giving this video a thumbs up, as it really does help my channel, and I will be bringing more videos like this for you. If you were just starting out, I do have a book available called the Fundamental Tattoo Handbook, which is available on my Amazon author page, and it's filled with loads of useful tattooing information that can help you in a better direction with your tattooing journey. I will leave links for this in the description below for you so you can check it out on your end. I appreciate you, your time, and your support. Thank you very much for watching. Have a great day.